Hello everyone. Today we are reading James 2 verse 1 to 13. Verse 1. James starts with about people, how people treat wealthy people compared to poor people. It's human nature to treat wealthy people better than poor people. In the early church, the Christians were under heavy persecution. And they thought, if we treat the rich people well, they will treat us well as well. But this shows that we don't have enough faith in God to provide for us. Now, and you see in this verse, it shows that we are commanded as Christians to do the opposite. We are not allowed to show favoritism to anybody. This is true believers in who trust in the Lord Jesus Christ. Verse 2, it shows two different men. One, you can see he's rich, he has lovely clothes, he has jewelry, and then the other man you can see is very poor, has no jewelry, his clothes are dirty, they're torn. Then the question is, how will the people in the church treat these two men based on what they look on the outside? Now, verse 3, James, he specifically talks about this. When we have favoritism, this is a sin. So he shows what it looks like. This involves when we give attention and honor to one person more than another person. This is favoritism. So if you give more attention to the wealthy man and you push the poor man one side, you are showing favoritism. Now, if you give the wealthy man the best seats and the poor man, you tell him to go stand in the corner or sit on the floor, this is showing favoritism. Now, then verse 4, it talks about the rich and powerful people in society were given places of honor and given special attention when they gathered together. The poor, dirty people would have been happy just to stand on the corner of the hall or just sit on the floor. They were happy to do that. This was for many of the same reasons rich people are favored above poor people, even today. Rich people can do things for you. They can give you money. They can even give you nice clothes, but they can even protect you. Poor people cannot do that for you and for me. Like, they can't give us things like food or give us their nice clothes. Okay, so with favoritism, that are showing that they really didn't believe that Christians who are poor in this life can have equal riches in glory. That means we don't believe that people who are rich will have more things from God than poor people will. Also, they believe that they can't have the same status in life or in heaven, like rich will have more and poor less. Not true. This is a evil way of thinking. Okay. Verse 5, James make a point with a very specific question. He asks, hasn't God chosen some who are poor in this life to be rich in faith and rich forever in his kingdom? Isn't that the promise he makes to those who love him? Every Christian reading James' words should answer, yes, that's what we believe. But if that's what we believe, James asks, why don't we treat each other the same way equally when we get together? Why don't we treat the poor Christians with the same respect, honor, and attention we will give to the rich people? Then we read in verse 6, it says, not every rich person in James' time was guilty of these things, same as today. Not all rich people do that to poor people. You get rich people that help the poor people where they can. But you get the rich people who are guilty of taking people to court, abusing them, or even taking advantage of them. This makes the force of James' point about favoritism make it very clear. It's both for in our bodies and in heaven, our spirituals. It is foolish for us as Christians to prefer the one person to another. It is foolish to prefer the rich to the poor, in the hope of getting better, for the people to treat us better, when the rich people are sometimes the ones that are not treating the poor people right. James, in verse 7, James talks about the rich abusing the Christians in the early church. This was a group of wealthy people. They also blasphemed the name of Christ, but their actions were more personal than that. These people blasphemed. The blasphemed, that means they like swore, talked bad about Christians, and because we are Christians, we belong to Christ. So they, by dishonoring us as Christians, they are dishonoring God as well. The verse 8, James teaches here that we are to love our neighbor the same way that we love ourselves. So we are to love people. Like when you and I are cold, we put something warm on. If we are hungry, we eat. If we cut our finger, we fix it up to look after that. God expects the same from me and you, to do the same to others. Okay. We are to show respect and honor to everybody equally. Verse 9, it says, if you show favoritism, it's a sin. In Colossians 3 verse 11, it says, here there is no Greek or Jew or circumcised or uncircumcised, slave or free, but Christ is in all and in all. That means that we are all equal in God's eyes.